I'm going to read you out Jeffrey Lionel Dahmer's interview with the Federal Bureau of Investigations. So, here we go. It's a long one. Okay, so first, Jeffrey Lionel Dahmer, white male, date of birth May 21st, 1960, interviewed by special agents. The investigation took place in the segregation unit of Columbia Correctional Center in Portage, Wisconsin. When he was 13 years old, he realized that he was homosexual. He stated that bothered him a little bit because he was different from other people. He also stated he had a lonely childhood and his only sibling was a brother, which was 6 years younger than him, and they weren't very close. They didn't have anything in common. Dahmer stated that when he was 13 and 14, he started fantasizing about sex with dead bodies, and then it turned to heavy masturbation. Dahmer was also asked what he meant by heavy masturbation, and he stated that he would masturbate 3, 4, 5 times a day. He also stated that he was drinking a lot to try to suppress his fantasies, but it didn't help, of course. So when he was 14, he used to bring home roadkill and then dissect it. He liked the look of the organs inside. He said that he got sexually aroused when he would look at the organs. He also stated he never had sex with any animals. He said when he was 16, he was having violent fantasies about sex and about striking someone over the head or the back of the neck and making them unconscious and then have sex with the body. When he was 15, he was assaulted by a group of youths who struck him in the back of the head and the neck. He stated they started fantasizing about retaliation, and this aroused his sexuality. And by the way, the guys that beat him up were black. He said his mindset was trapped in the obsession and needed to dominate. There was always the need for physical pleasure. Dahmer tried to create a zombie by drilling holes in the frontal lobe and pouring in muriatic acid. So he stated that worked at first, but after a while they would die. He further advised that he tried to freeze dry the perfect mate so he could continually have sex with the body. He thought by freezing it, the body would not decompose. He started that, but not for very long. It didn't work out. He tried controlling his obsession with heavy drinking, pornography, and masturbation. He said that was his sole purpose for living, that driving force, behind his existence. He needed it for pleasure. He said he tried to resist his temptation for killing by looking in the newspaper's obituary column and finding a death notice for any 19 or 20-year-old males. So he went to the graveyard and tried to dig up the grave. He stated that he could not dig up the grave because the ground was too hard, and while he attempted to dig the grave, he was attacked by a graveyard dog. He said he would get aroused by different sounds that a body would make. He stated that it was a very extreme fascination with the human body. He liked to delicately slit the skin and peel it back and look at the capillaries and different blood vessels. He found that very sexually arousing to look at the internal organs, or also known as viscera. He stated that after having total control over the body, he would have sex with the body. Dahmer was asked by the interviewer agents how he would perform his sexual acts, and Dahmer stated that he would do penis to anus, penis to mouth, and he would also make a slit in the body above and pubic line and have sexual intercourse then with the body. He stated he would also slit open the body and then masturbate. He had a large hunting knife with rubber grips and a very sharp edge. He would use this to cut up the bodies. He said he would dismember his victims by slitting them from the sternum to the pubic area, and then would remove the internal organs and then cut the flesh, starting from the calves, legs, and then up the side. Then he would remove the head and put that in the freezer, and then he would delicately take the flesh off and put it in a large 90-gallon cooking pot. He stated that that's when he would boil the skull and the bones, and then he would have a clean skeleton. He stated that he did that right in his own apartment, and he would dispose of the flesh, organs, and bones by flushing them with hydrochloric acid, muriatic acid, until he could flush them down the toilet. He stated that he ate hearts, liver, thigh meat, and biceps. He would prepare them by frying the organ in a skillet on the stove. This way, he could prepare regular pieces of meat. He said that the meat was quite tasty and described it as eating filet mignon, which has a very tender and juicy tone to it. Dahmer told another incident about where he mummified a head in a small chest in a closet. He said it took a bit of work, and he kept it at his locker. Somebody caught him with that skull, but luckily he spray painted it so the person who saw it thought it was fake. Another incident was he brought a guy back from to his apartment and did not have any sleeping pills left, so he tried to make them get drunk. He said he hit him in the head with the rubber mallet and it dazed him, but did not knock him unconscious. So they got into a struggle and the person fled. He reported it to the police, but it sounded so bizarre they did not even believe him. Alright guys, that was part 1. Stick around for part 2 if you like this content so far, I guess.